everyone, how's it going?
Hey guys.
Coming to you live. How's it going? We are live at Will and Jen's house, and we are broadcasting on both channels,
Yes.
Matt's RV Reviews and Matt's RV Reviews Towables.
That's right.
Welcome, Will. Thanks for having me at your house.
Of course, anytime.
So this is podcast episode 1, and if you're watching this on replay, we're going to wait until the, 4-minute mark. We're going to wait till the 4-minute mark. We're going to give people 3 minutes to kind of get in. This is our first time going live. I can see now we only have 69 people, so we're going to wait until the 4-minute mark.
Cool.
But let us know if you can see us okay, if you can hear us okay. We'll skip that thing on that computer screen over there. And, just checking in from everyone. Leave a comment down below. Let us know if you can see us and hear us. We are live from, where do you live, Will? Prince Frederick, Maryland.
Yeah.
So, Will, thank you for having us at your house.
Of course.
Tell everybody what we kind of did today while we're waiting for everybody to log on.
So really it started yesterday. We left Tampa, Florida, and started the road trip up here. We stayed last night in Charleston, South Carolina, which I really like. What was your thoughts on it?
It was a little too bougie for me. It was very they're very yuppie.
Yeah.
I didn't fit in. I didn't, I'm just Nat from Matt's RV Reviews. So I didn't like that.
Yeah, but it's a nice area. I think it was also one of those things where we've been driving not all day, but we had probably 6 hours driving, and we were in our gym shorts and t-shirts, and it was just a nicer place than that.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, and we literally just got here maybe 30 minutes ago.
Right, we were cutting it close.
Yeah, we were stressing out, getting ready for this live podcast.
Yes.
So this is a new podcast, what we're doing. We're going to be doing it every Thursday at 8 p.m. Sometimes it's going to be live. Sometimes it's going to be pre-recorded.
Right.
But it's always going to be at 8 p.m. And then we have to figure out after tonight how to get this on Apple CarPlay and Spotify.
Yeah, make it a real podcast.
Yep, everything. So, the Forerunners getting some miles.
Sure
JD checking in from Maryland. Hey, we got Decatur, Illinois.
Cool.
We got to get some podcast gear. Yeah, we plan on getting that. We plan on getting the whole kit and caboodle live from Venice, Florida.
Nice.
And so we got about 40 more seconds, and we're going to be going live into the show. Hey, Tom, how's it going? I hope you're enjoying your Cedar Creek. What's up, Justin? How's it going? We got people from California.
Nice, very nice.
People are doing good from all over the place. Hi, Maxine from Wilmington, Delaware. We got New Jersey, Norfolk, Virginia, California. Yeah, let me tell you something, guys. This is episode 1. We hope this is going to be good, and we got a lot of really good stuff coming out here. So we're going to wait just another 6 more seconds, and then we're going live. Hey, everyone. Welcome to podcast episode 00, number 1 from the Matt and Will, the Matt's RV Reviews, we don't even have a name for a podcast show. I'm Matt.
I'm Will.
And we do RV reviews. And we're now independent, and this is our very first podcast. So we're probably going to look at this podcast probably a year from now and talk about how terrible it is.
It's just like RV reviews, though, in that way.
Yeah, if you guys have ever seen our old RV reviews, they were horrible. And they just get better over time. So, Will, what we're doing is we're doing a 30-minute show.
Right.
It's going to be every Thursday night, 8 p.m. We're either going to be live doing it, or it's going to be a live premiere on both of our YouTube channels, Matt's RV Reviews and Matt's RV Reviews Towables. We're also going to have the show on Spotify and Apple Playlist and everything else. But, Will, why don't you just kind of give us a breakdown of what, I don't want to call it a theme, but what our theme's going to be?
Sure, of course. So it's going to be kind of 3 sections, and I think this is our basic outline for each one.
Yes.
So the first topic is going to be kind of like breaking news in the industry. What's new? What's going on? What's everybody talking about in the industry?
Everybody. Industry secrets.
Yes, of course. So that's going to be kind of topic 1. Topic 2 is going to be what we call this week's topics, which the goal, I think, is to get a guest, but it may not always happen.
Yep, we got some really good guests lined up.
We do.
I mean, in the future, we got Bob Martin, the CEO of Thor Industry, who said he's going to be a guest. Right. We listen. We got. I can name drop, but we got a lot of heavy hitters that want to be guests on our show.
Yeah. Yeah, and if not, it'll be something that, Matt and I are working on or something that we're going through at the time.
Yep.
And then the last part is just going to be like a Q&A from you guys. So it'll probably be about 10 minutes for each section.
But we're definitely going to cap off each show at 30 minutes long.
Yes.
We don't want to over-exaggerate it or whatever, and we don't want to draw it along. We want to make it quick, nice, and easy. And so this week, episode 1, what we're talking about. 1, we're going to go into breaking news. 2 is this week's topic. And Will, what's this week's topic about?
This week's topic is going to be our week 1 of being independent, being our own, business people, entrepreneurs, and everything.
Yeah, and the struggles and tribulations that we've been through.
Yes.
And then part 3, the Q&A. We need a name for the podcast.
Yes.
So once we're done chatting with you guys and talking with you guys, we want to hear your feedback. As you guys know, if you guys listen to any podcasts always have like some weird name. We could always do the Matt and Will show, the Here We Go Now show, the Matt's RV Reviews podcast.
Right.
But we want to hear your feedback of what you think it's going to be. And it's not just going to be me and Will. We're in talks. We have somebody else that we want to join us on the program, but it can't be for episode 1, and we really had to get this podcast started.
Right.
But hopefully in the next couple weeks, we'll be able to have them join us as well, because I think they'd be a great host.
I think so too.
And a great addition to the show. We just got to go through some hoops and hurdles first.
Of course.
So we really hope that he will be able to join us on the show. But Andre is going to be on the show. Jen's going to be on the show. We're going to have a whole bunch of people on the show. So we're going to get into breaking news. But first, if you guys haven't heard, part of this week's topic, how we're going independent, how we broke away from all dealerships. We're not taking money from any dealerships.
Right.
And we're going to talk to you guys about that a little bit later. But if you guys haven't heard, we do have a Patreon. We are being 100% funded by you guys to be true and unbiased.
That's right.
If you guys haven't heard, make sure you join us on Patreon. We have a link down below. Send me an email if you can't find the link. We'll also have a link on the website, Matt's RV Reviews. But the link's down below. It's patreon.com/Matt's RV Reviews.
Yes.
You don't have to do it. Just watching the shows enough.
Right.
But we're doing this kind of like crowdfunding or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the best way to think of it.
So we can be true and unbiased without taking money from any dealerships or any manufacturers. Right. So we can work with awesome dealerships, which we've already worked with. I mean, look at that Pleasureway video.
I know. It's crazy.
But we'll talk about that in part 2 of the segment.
All right.
Let's get into some breaking news.
Okay.
You know what we need? We need like a breaking news. So first we're going to talk politics.
Uh-oh. No,
I'm just kidding. We're never going to talk politics on the show. Okay, so first thing of breaking news brought to you by RV Business. Let me hide this real quick. We got all our news sources from RV Business, RV News, and RV Pro.
Right.
So I don't have them down in the description below, but if you're watching this on the replay, I'm going to put all our news sources from there.
Okay, cool.
We appreciate taking their articles.
Of course, yeah.
So first one, Keystone RV to add solar panel as a standard equipment. Will, what does that mean for the people?
That means, for I think it's all Keystone brands, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So all Keystone brands are going to have some solar on them. Now, keep in mind, a lot of people will ask, can solar run everything, my AC and all that? The solar is going to be some of your basic, maybe some of your plugs, some of your lights, a 9 or a 12-volt fridge. Stuff like that.
Yeah, and so what it's doing, solar's definitely changing the way it is.
Of course, yeah.
And here's why it's important that Keystone's adding it as a standard, so you don't need to worry about it.
Right.
Right now, as far as travel trailers, Keystone doesn't have anything, and I'm going to say 99% of brands don't have anything right now where they could be completely solar sufficient.
Right.
But it is going to trickle charge your batteries.
Of course, yeah.
We do have an awesome travel trailer review coming out this weekend. It is the Tesla of travel trailers.
Yes.
And that truly does run off solar and batteries.
It does. It's crazy. Yep, and we did a little sneak peek of it on the Patreon too.
Yes.
So if you guys are a Patreon, you would see that too.
Oh, then you already know.
Yeah.
So number 2, speaking of solar and everything, Colorado Teardrop plans on releasing an EV adventure travel trailer. This is really cool because this travel trailer is going to be towed by a Tesla, and it's going to have batteries on it. I actually found a little video from their YouTube channel. We're going to play it right now.
Cool.
Imagine being able to camp from your electric vehicle on the ultimate road trip. But when it's time to leave, how far will you be able to go? Towing a camper reduces your EV's range. Introducing the Boulder, Colorado Teardrop's flagship patent-pending teardrop trailer designed for owners of electric vehicles. The Boulder is a teardrop camper trailer with a bank of EV batteries built into the trailer frame. Using an integrated standard charging port, the Boulder enables you to recharge your EV's batteries to return your electric vehicle to its pre-towing range, or better. No matter how far from home you want to go, there is now backup power for your electric vehicle. Modern, strong, lightweight materials and a tested aerodynamic design ensure you get the most out of your EV's range. Now, there's no more worrying whether you'll run out of power before reaching the next charging station. When you do arrive at your next station, fill both the EV...
Perfect. Okay, we're not going to watch the whole video, but I think that is super cool.
That is really cool.
And let me tell you guys something. That is going to be the future of the RV industry.
Absolutely.
Everybody's getting all worried about it because you're hearing these pledges from GM and Ford and this and that about the zero emissions or whatever.
Right.
And so it has to start with teardrops.
Of course.
No different than it has to start with Class B motorhomes.
Yep.
It has to be the smaller stuff. But as technology gets better, it's just going to keep growing and growing.
Of course, just like, how Tesla started with the smaller cars, and then they're working their way, they're talking about the semi-trucks.
Right.
Exactly the same process.
And that's something that I heard a little rumor about. That's going to be really cool. Like, I don't even remember where I heard it from, but I don't even think I'm allowed to talk about it. But it's really, really cool stuff.
Cool.
So that's cool. And then here's another article that's really exciting. From RV Business. This one's about a week or two old.
Right.
But Lippert Component, who is the leader of RV OEMs, they are the all these little parts. It's owned by Lippert Components, which is an awesome company. They make the windows. They make those awesome solid steps.
Yes.
They make the suspension. They make the pin boxes.
Especially with towables.
You won't believe, but even with motorhomes,
motorhomes, yeah.
You wouldn't believe what they produce.
Yes.
I mean, hundreds of thousands of different parts
it's
for
crazy.
RVs.
It's really crazy.
They bought Furrion.
Right.
And as you guys know, we love Furrion. Furrion makes some of the most... You know what we should do? We should ask them if we can buy the Furrion motorhome from them. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be.
But Furrion is the leader of RV electronics.
Oh, yeah.
And their world headquarters is in Elkhart, Indiana.
Yep.
And you guys have seen me do, not me, but seen me and Will do the review of the Furrion Elysium.
Yes.
And it's just
that cool.
Right.
They're just like next level, futuristic, everything.
Right.
It's so cool.
And I never saw them getting bought out. And let me tell you,
I didn't either.
There's only one company that really could buy them out without one of the big manufacturers buying them out, which is awesome. So that's really exciting news. These big conglomerates are buying other conglomerates, which it's just gonna make it better for the consumer, especially a company like Lippert buying them. That's just gonna bring more jobs to Elkhart County, and that's a really good thing. Speaking of jobs and building RVs, well, we're doing a really good job transitioning this, and it wasn't intentional like this. Wholesale pricing jumps in July. This one was brought to you by RV News. Inflation in the wholesale level jumped higher than ever expected, 1% in July, dimming hopes for a slowdown in price increase. Over the past 12 months, wholesale levels are up a record 7.8%, passing the old record of 7.3% over the last 12-month period.
It's crazy.
What do you think about that, Will? What does that even mean to people who are watching the show?
Yeah, so a lot of people are always like, oh, it's, let's wait to buy, and, let's wait for prices to fall and everything. And, these signs are just kind of telling me, and of course, nobody can predict the future, nobody can predict the market, but it's just kind of telling me that things aren't probably going to go back down anytime soon.
Yeah, prices are going up, and they're going to stay up.
They're going to stay up and maybe go up even more.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy right now with what's going on.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at everything. Look at appliances.
Right.
Look at plywood. Look at Chick-fil-A sauce. You know what I'm saying? I mean, dude, you go to Chick-fil-A, when you do the little app, they talk about a sauce shortage.
Right. They max out how many you can get.
Yes. 2 more news stories, and then we're going to go on to today's topic.
Okay.
And again, we're going to try to do it 10, 10, 10,
yes.
but it might be 15, 8, and
whatever
9. Yeah, whatever the balance is. So this is new from, I think this is from RV News as well, and RV Lifestyle. Canada, I almost said Canada. Gee, oh my God, it's been a long day.
It has.
Canada has opened its borders to fully vaccinated American travelers, squashing a 16-month quarantine. They're still waiting on hearing about things opening up the borders for non-vaccinated travelers. I wouldn't stress about this. I don't want to get into that type of subject. This is good news. It's good that Canadians. No, it's good that Canadians can come into America. Yes. It's good that Americans can go into Canada. I would say if for the non-vaccinated people, when you went to Aruba, you just had to take a test or whatever.
Yes.
And a whole bunch of people are opening their borders. We're really not going to get into that. It's just exciting because we can now, many people.
Things are moving in the right direction.
Get normal again.
Yeah, now, Canadians can travel here, under certain circumstances and vice versa. So.
And it's one of those things, if you plan on going to Canada, I'm not sure where you live, but it's one of those things where people aren't like, oh, hey, let's go to Canada next month. It's like a trip that you have to plan out.
Right.
Because there's really only certain times of the years that you would have to go there.
Exactly.
And so it's nice that a lot of people had plans that they had to ruin it.
For 2 years now.
Yeah. And so now they can go back to make their plans and traveling all of North America, which is exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
And then last piece of RV news is Airstream released, and this is old news, but there's a reason why we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Airstream releases a Pottery Barn travel trailer. How many of you guys out there have spouses, not guys, but how many people out there have spouses that are obsessed with Pottery Barn? I know I do.
Yeah, for sure.
Pottery Barn is expensive, but Pottery Barn is very, is it contemporary or what's the word that I'm trying to say? I don't even know what word I'm trying to say. Here's what I am trying to say. Historically, RV manufacturers have always been behind times when it comes to their decor.
Their designs and decor and
exactly.
And all that.
And Airstream has always been great with their Eddie Bauer collabs, their Tommy Bahama collaborations.
Yep.
And now they're
they got the Pottery
Barn, which is going to be a huge collaboration.
It is. Yes.
And what does that mean for Matt's RV Reviews now that we're independent?
We can review them.
And here's what happened, guys. We've been invited to the #1 Airstream dealership in the entire country, which is Airstream of Tampa.
Yep.
Next week, they're doing a world debut or a celebration.
Yes.
They're doing something, a gala, a cocktail thing.
Yeah.
VIP celebration. Thing. I don't know. I heard it's going to be all epic, and now I got to go to Joseph A. Bank so I can look good. But it's going to be something awesome where they're going to have that unit there, and they've invited us, Matt's RV Reviews, to review it.
Yeah.
Will still doesn't know if he's going to go. I know. Okay, really?
I think so.
Oh, well, you heard it here first. I mean, we literally just got back, and it's a week away, so it's going to suck that he's going to have to hop on an airplane. But I mean, that's an awesome opportunity. One, we've been waiting to do Airstreams forever on our show.
We have.
And to make the very first Airstream, the rarest and coolest Airstream, being the Pottery Barn.
Right.
Big shout out to Airstream of Tampa for inviting us.
Yeah, thank you.
and we just can't wait to show everybody. So
right, it might be a mistake because now like no Airstream is going to be as good.
Oh no, I think Airstreams will always be as good.
Of course.
Great. So that was the breaking news. I don't know. We're going to have to come up with some news and topic. Now it's time for this week's guest or this week's topic. This week's guest is Will. And Will, who's your guest for this week?
You.
Thank you. So this has been our very first week as RV entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, business entrepreneurs. And Will, can we call it a week from hell?
Probably.
And
it's been, that, but it's also been a great week, honestly.
Right. I mean,
it's just been totally up and down.
Up and down.
Lots of stress, lots of very exciting moments.
Lots of stress and lots of love.
Yes.
And let me tell you guys something. I have never suffered from anxiety in my life. Mm-hmm. I have always been a flow as you go. And quite frankly, I've never even believed in anxiety. Not trying to sound rude or uneducated. I just didn't believe it because I've never had it. I never had it once in my life. I promise you, I have never once had it in my life until this week.
Right.
I'm a family man, and Will has a family with Jen. And it's just like, I just felt the whole world go on my shoulders.
On you.
Like literally, like I feel like my face getting red because like just talking about it, it's just made it so hard.
Right.
And it's one of those things where, I felt like, hey, let's just call up all my friends in the RV industry and just tell them that we're going independent now. And that we want to go to your dealership and just review your RVs for absolutely free. And when we tell dealerships this, we didn't get the exact responses we wanted right away,
right?
Which really just put pressure on my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, we quit my job. I quit my job, which paid the bills, and I asked Will and Jen to hop in this with me, and Andrea's hopping on with this with me. And, Andrea has kids, which means I have kids and pets and bills and everything. And I'm all like, let me tell you something. I feel like, business owners, and maybe this is weird or whatever. Everybody always complains about business owners, like with how much money they make or whatever, when they're successful. But let me tell you, being a business owner for 1 week has just
opened your eyes,
has aged me probably 10 years. You know what I'm saying? And like, and me and Will, we were eating at a pizza place, right? Mm-hmm. And like, we didn't even invest, if that, like we're investing.
I mean, we put money into it to get it going.
Right. And we have money saved up to make sure, right? But like the pizza place, they had to put out
they probably had
$50,000, $100,000.
They've been paying rent on that place
to open a pizza place to be selling slices for $4.
Right, we were there day one, and we were like, man, they are in the hole so much.
They're
already.
In the hole, right?
Like what we're in the hole is nothing compared to them.
Right. And I couldn't imagine the stress that they put on.
Right.
And so leave a comment, guys. Let me know if you guys are business owners. And let me know if the first week of business was just stressful for you.
Right.
And it was one of those things with me suffering from this anxiety attacks. I don't even want to call it like attacks, but like, I mean, there were some bad times.
Yeah.
I mean, we went to Ford's Garage and I ordered a kid's meal and I took, Jen's laughing, and I took one bite. I couldn't eat because it was that bad. And just, I don't want to call them anxiety attacks, but the anxiety waves of emotions. Like
sometimes you'd be fine.
Not only that, of the mental highs I got when we did get the phone calls, but then the lows when somebody said they would call and then they didn't call, or you called them and they wouldn't pick up. Yeah. And like when that whole 2 ring hang up, and it's all like, what's going on? And it's very tough. And let me tell you something. I mean, I think 1 week into it, or what are we now, 8 or 9 days into it, I'm definitely feeling a lot better. I'm definitely feeling more confident.
Of course, yeah.
But let me tell you something. I've never felt the world on my shoulders till this week, and that's literally what it was.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like Matt said, he's never really suffered from anxiety or anything. Me, on the other hand, I always have. I've medically gone through stuff like I've been medicated for it and stuff like that just to work through getting through it. Luckily I'm in a better place now, but I knew what that felt like, and I think I was kind of expecting it.
Right.
A little bit more. And I've never seen Matt like that. And it was
crazy,
guys. Yeah. It was just different, and Matt is so go with the flow, where I think I had, coming from having anxiety in the past, I had already thought through all those what ifs. And I think just kind of in my gut, I knew in the end it would work out. And I think it did. Of course, it took a couple days to get things lined up, but then we got one phone call of an invite, and we got another
phone call.
And things just started falling. The pieces started falling together, and obviously it's much better now. Not to say we don't have a lot more work to go.
Yes,
but yeah, I was just like I said, I had never seen Matt like that, and I wasn't expecting that.
Right.
So,
there was times I literally seized up.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting in the car, and I'm my body just ugh. And it's just
literally
muscle tensing up.
Yeah.
And my neck, it was really bad. But it's just something that we I guess a lot of people go through it in life. And I know a lot of people go through it in life. And now I'm more empathetic to it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it more. If that makes sense, or I understand it and I sympathize with it.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it's something that I almost didn't believe.
Right.
Not saying that in an ignorant way. You don't believe in ghosts until you see a ghost, right?
Right.
I get that's a bad analogy, but you won't believe in aliens until you see aliens.
Yeah.
But it's just something that I wasn't aware of until this week, and it's really humbling. It brings me back down, and it lets me know, because I know Andrea suffers with it as well, and Will and her daughters, and I've always heard about it, but it's really humbled me down into. I think the last week kind of made me a better person, which is better than being a worse person.
Yeah, and it has been crazy. In addition to that, I think just running your own business in general has been just so new for both of us. And we weren't, our attorney, he kind of prepped us for some stuff, but it was as soon as we hit the ground running, it was we needed to have all these things in order too. We needed insurance, liability insurance, and insurance,
health
and
insurance,
contracts,
and this and that.
Yeah.
And it's contracts, and I'm what the heck? I'm we're going to a dealership for free.
Yeah.
No, we're going to a dealership for free. We have a Patreon. Hang on. Let me do this. We have a Patreon. Please sign up for our Patreon. But we're not taking money from dealerships. Why am I paying you $1,500? I'm going to call it out there to draw up a contract if I'm doing this for free.
Yeah.
But there's all this other stuff that I didn't know that was required in a business.
Right.
And it's just it's more complicated now that it's free for the dealerships.
Right.
Than when it wasn't,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's been crazy as well, just getting all that lined up. And I think I had a better understanding. Matt's always just been
we'll figure it out later.
Yeah, shake on it type of person. And unfortunately, just sometimes it doesn't always work that way. You need the contracts,
right,
and the insurance and all that.
Yep, for sure. And thank you so much, Bob Keefe, for that chat. And my chat isn't working here, so I can't pull you up on the screen. Oh, hey, JD. Yes. Hey, JD. And yeah, we're super excited that we will now be partnering with Big Truck, Big RV. He doesn't know it yet, but we're going to be coming to Texas one day.
Right.
And you're going to be getting a phone call, JD. And we want to partner with everybody, and we want to do every reviews. And I do want to give one big shout out before we go to the Q&A. One big shout out to Patrick from Griseni's.
Yes.
So we talked about the anxiety. Patrick was the first phone call. He said, "Hey, Matt, come on down." And we went to Fort Myers, and Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for that super chat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That really does mean a lot to us, especially since we're unemployed now. But Patrick from Grisenni's,
he's such a great guy.
What a great guy.
We've known him before,
Yes. I met him at RV shows in the past. And let me tell you something. He came through and he saved the show. And that,
not only did he save the show, he brought the best unit we could ask for.
Right. I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better unit. And that one thing opened up the door for other dealerships. Yes.
We were so excited we got that call.
And that's just sitting that dinner. Was the exactly.
Yeah.
And then we got the next call.
Then we got the next call.
And then the next call. And then the next call.
Exactly.
And then, we have friends in the RV industry. I don't want to name drop.
Right.
But they know who they are and they've helped as well, which is awesome. Sure. And I mean, just big shout outs to Grisenni's and every other dealership that you're going to see on our show. Shout outs to them. Yes. Just for trusting us and everything. And we got some big things in the work.
We do.
And we're working on some huge partnerships.
Yes.
And I'm just really excited
I think you guys are going to love what we have coming. Like we said, just the dealerships that we have come in the works and everything. They sell brands you guys are going to love.
Yeah.
It's going to be really, really great. So, very exciting.
Great. So, now it's time for segment 3 of the podcast. See, that part was a little short. The breaking news was a little long.
Yes.
This part was a little short because I don't want to talk about anxiety and depression the whole time. And so now it's time for the Q&A. So if you guys have any questions for me or Will, drop a comment down below. We're going to be answering them for the next, we'll call it 7 minutes. For the next 7 minutes. Also, guys, we need your help. We need a name for the podcast. Here's what I don't want the name to be. I don't want the name to be the Matt and Will Show, or I don't even want it to be the Matt's RV Reviews podcast. Because here's the thing. There's another person who we really want to be part of the show. Again, when stuff's free, it gets more complicated.
Right.
And so they can't be a part of episode 1, and they're down in Florida. So they wouldn't be a part of episode 1. So we need names for the shows.
Do you want to do hashtag question so that you can see it better?
Yes, hashtag it question.
Okay.
Are you an employee or are you just working for ourselves? We don't work for anybody anymore. We work for Matt's RV Reviews LLC, and we have the RVnegotiator.com that we work for, which we didn't even touch on this episode. We're going to touch on more of that next episode.
Yeah.
We're going to change the name of that as well.
That. Because there's more to it than that.
There's more to it than that. We have some people that are like, hey, negotiate. It's like, no, we don't do that. It's more the working with us one-on-one.
Yeah.
So
you guys will see that coming.
Yeah, that's going to be another episode. Thank you so much for that super chat.
Thank you.
So yeah, if you guys have a question, put a hashtag question first. And I got one of those. Yes. If you guys have a question, do that. Also, if you have recommendations for the podcast, put hashtag podcast name and let us know. Oh, by the way, okay. Big shout out to the sponsor, campgroundviews.com.
Yes.
They did not sponsor this episode, but they have been sponsoring our previous episodes. And here's what we're going to do. If you guys don't know what campgroundviews.com is, that's a 360 digital tour of state and national parks. If you guys don't know who it is, you haven't been watching our last 10, 20 episodes, okay? But what we're going to do, Will, and I'm just now deciding this, we're going to give away a lifetime membership if you come up with the name for the podcast.
That's a good idea.
So we're doing it live right now, but you can also email us. Yeah. And I'm sorry if 2 people come up with the same name.
It'll be first.
It's going to be first. Yep. So we're going to come out of our own pocket, $250, and give away a lifetime podcast, a lifetime
membership.
Yep, to
Campground View.
What a great question. Family budget travel trailer small. Love you. Elizabeth, everybody. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m., Matt's RV Reviews Towables. We have one of the best family travel trailers that is going to be on the market today. Dollar for dollar. It's the
Oh, yes.
So it's an awesome unit. I don't want to spoil it for you. Make sure you guys set your reminders for tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
It's a great unit.
And listen, guys, even if you're watching Matt's RV Reviews Motorhome channel, make sure you subscribe to the Towable channel, at least for the next week or 2.
Yeah.
We're working with a whole bunch of new dealerships, and we want to get some traction on their videos.
Yes, show them some support and everything.
Yes, for sure. So make sure, especially you, Elizabeth, make sure you're there tomorrow.
It's a great
unit.
It sounds like a great fit for you.
Perfect. Climbing up the mountain. Just kidding. No, it's a good name. RV specialist. I like that name.
I like that one. Yeah.
Posh cat camping. I don't understand that humor.
I don't either.
Podcast, good travel trailers for SUV. You should have said #question. We have a video. It depends on what SUV.
Right.
There's going to be so many. Crap. #Try Guys RV reviews. Okay, interesting. Hi from Alaska. Or hi from AK. That's Alaska, not Arkansas. Another thing, Jeff, if you guys want to see factory tours, send us an email. We're definitely going to do that.
Yes.
West Virginia Taco, or WV Taco, this is question. Please give the number of seatbelts in the RVs. So here's why I'm not going to do that. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to be here's what we can do. We can compromise. When we see seatbelts, we will call them out. Okay. For a liability thing, I don't want to say this thing can safely travel 7 people.
Right.
I don't like doing that. I'm going to leave that up to the manufacturer. But if we see seatbelts, we will definitely.
Most of the manufacturers too on their website will post how many seatbelts if you go to the floor plan.
Yes. Podcast name: The Truth and Nothing But the Truth. Yes. But we do want the name kind of RV related as well.
Right.
Okay, podcast name, The Traveling Rolling Box. I like where you're going with that. Okay, so Jen was thinking of something like this. Proper Pooping Position Podcast.
Yes,
okay.
The 4 Ps.
Yep, the 4 Ps. I kind of like where you're going, Kevin.
Yes.
And look, James said the same thing. Podcast name, Prime Purchaser Podcast. Okay. RV Couch Dude, okay.
I think that's Coach.
Coaching Dude. Yep.
Dude.
Podcast name, Here We Go Now. Yes. So Crafty OTT, I'll give you credit for this, but my thought was the Here We Go Now show or the Here We Go Now podcast or something like that. The reason why other people who have influence in the name don't like that is because it's not too RV related.
Right. So people are searching for like RV related podcasts. It may not show up.
Right. Yep. Thank you for sticking around. The Proper Pooping Podcast. And again, that's another inside joke that I just feel like people aren't going to get when they're searching podcasts.
Right.
Question, good travel trailers for SUVs. Again, send us an email, mattsrvreviews@gmail.com. Let us know what type of RV or what type of SUV, because that really depends. And there's so many different factors. Are you looking for bunk beds or no bunks?
Yep.
Matt, we'll chat. Okay. The RV Review Dude. Yep. Good names. Fort Lauderdale loves Matt's RV reviews. Thanks, Real Estate Coaching Dude. I just lost my place. Podcast name, the Here We Go Now show. Yep. You should come visit. Drew, do you work there? Let us know, because we did want to visit Motorhome Specialist.
Yeah, send us an email.
Yeah, because we would love to go there because they have a ton of motorhomes.
Yes.
Everything RV. Oh, and everything RV. Because you know how I say and everything a lot?
Oh, yeah.
Being Real RV Reviews.
I like that.
Yes. Okay, so just if your guys are coming in.
Right.
We're not changing the name of Matt's RV Reviews.
No.
Matt's RV Reviews, Matt's RV Reviews. We do want a name for the podcast because the podcast is going to be on Spotify and Apple thing and RV Talk on the Real. Good Pooping Position. RV Interested. Interesting.
Okay.
Where are you going with that? The Talking Travel Podcast. Okay. Question, best truck for towing a small, again, first,
That's truck.
Yeah, but it depends on what's a mid-sized trailer.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Prime podcasting position. Okay. The Real RV Reviewers. I like that.
Yeah.
We're the Real RV Reviewers, and it's a podcast show about Matt, Will, Andrea, and if any other guests review us or join us about reviewing us. That's definitely a contender. Write that one down, Will.
Okay.
The Real RV Reviewers. Will the Real RV Reviewers please stand up? John, that's a really good one. Happy Campers Podcast. I like that one too. Write down Mindy.
What was it? Happy Campers
Podcast? Yep. Haley Family. How's it going? Make sure everybody checks out Haley Family YouTube channel. The RV Review Podcast. Simple. Matt's RV Reviews is a simple name. The Haley Family is a simple name. Sometimes it doesn't need to be as complicated as this one. Fat Ass RV Review Podcast. I like that one too. The Recreational Reviewers. Bing. I like that. Campercast. Yep. Will we ever review RV parks and resorts? No. Well, maybe in the future. I mean, we've tried that and people didn't like it too much.
It wasn't.
Are you planning on doing any joint ventures? Yeah. I mean, no, we're going to have guests on our show. Traveling Robert's a really good friend of mine. He's definitely going to be on the show and a whole bunch of other people. I don't know the Russos or the Fit RVs, but if they're watching, email me, mattsrvreviews@gmail.com. We definitely want them to be a part of the podcast and the show. All Things RVs, yep. Podcast name, I like this too. Always Unbiased Reviews, something like that. We can mix it up a little bit. I don't like two guys in an RV. Sorry, Jeff, because there's going to be more people than that, and there's some hidden meaning behind that. Hi, Brady, who's 7 years old. Thanks for.
Yes, hi, Brady.
Great. RV from the Inside. I like that too.
Yeah.
Good name.
Write that one down.
Yep. Down and Dirty RV Reviews Podcast. Yep. The RV Review Show. Great name, Rebecca. And I saw your comment earlier. This podcast isn't replacing our reviews.
No,
we're still going to have a review every single day. So don't worry. I know you love your reviews, Rebecca, and we love you.
Yes.
And we're going to keep on bringing them to you. This is a great question. Difference between not the podcast. Oh my God. Will, read the question.
Thoughts on a Keystone Passport GT 2400 RB? What's the difference between the 2400 RB and the 2400 RB WE? WE just stands for Western Edition, right?
Yes. So what Keystone does, Keystone has a Western Edition. It's the same exact unit.
Yep.
So it's just the way Keystone does it. Thank you so much, Daniel.
Thank you.
Podcast, The Truth, Nothing But the Truth, all about RVs. Okay. We're doing good, guys. We're doing good. Best RV podcast in America. I like that too. Perfect. So we got some really, really good names. Thank you guys so much for all the names. We're gonna wrap up the show now, guys. We're 4 minutes past what our goal was. We want to thank each and every person, all 450 of you guys
yes,
who are watching on Matt's RV Reviews and Matt's RV Reviews Towables.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yes, Haley family, we will be in Ohio. We will be everywhere. We're going to be at all the big shows, all the big events. We're going to try to be everywhere. If you guys have a name for the podcast, again, we will be giving away a $250 lifetime membership to campgroundviews.com to the person who comes up with the name. We appreciate it. Thank you for the tip on the way out.
Yes, thank you.
We appreciate it. If you have a name or a recommendation for our podcast, let us know. Send us an email, mattsrvreviews@gmail.com. If there's a guest that you think should be on our podcast, let us know. Or if you just have any recommendations about our podcast, let us know.
Yes.
Comment on this video down below or send us an email, mattsrvreviews@gmail.com.
Yep.
Will, is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, like Matt said, if there's anybody, any recommendations you have, especially if you have connections to them,
Yeah.
definitely let us know. I want to give a huge shout out and a huge thanks to everybody who has joined our Patreon.
Yes, make sure you guys join.
Yes.
It's just so everybody knows, it's $10 a month. And if you cannot join,
it's okay.
No problem.
No problem at all. But yes, we appreciate everybody who does join. Again, that really helps us be able to go independent.
Yep.
And not take any money from dealerships or manufacturers or anything. So Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody. And thank you, absolutely everybody, so much for watching. We will be doing this again next week, 8 p.m. It will not be live, but it will be a live premiere.
Right.
And then the following week, we will be live, and we have a really good guest lined up.
Yes.
You guys have seen him on the show before. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's going to be a great first guest, a really good friend and mentor of mine.
Yes.
Both him and his wife and their dog. Little spoiler alert. But I know you guys are really going to like it, and they're just awesome people, and I know you guys are going to love them. Thank you, absolutely everybody, so much for watching. We will see you next time.
See you.